My name is Mr. Tony Ike Agode. I'm here to talk about the StarTime Solar experience that was recently installed to the present facility I manage. We've had some issues when it comes to powering the facility. We made a contact with the StarTimes company, and on the long run, we're able to get into partnership with them, where they formally installed the current inverter machine. The installation of this very inverter gave us a cut in our cost implications when it comes to the usage in power, both in PHCN and also the diesel purchase to our generator.
There is a place very close to you, a place easily accessible in a serene environment with adequate security. Ade Super Hotels Limited is the place with the state-of-the-art facility, spacious car park, air-conditioned rooms and suites with modern toilet facilities, standard swimming pool, well-stocked indoor and outdoor baths, boardroom for corporate meetings, halls for all kinds of events and parties, a gymnasium equipped with up-to-date facilities, restaurants that provide local and continental dishes with special services for banquet and buffet. Laundry services are also available. At Ade Super Hotels Limited, you are assured of 24 hours power supply as well as best ever reception that you can imagine. Ade Super Hotels is located at Elisha Road, PO Box 3028, Akure, Ondo State. Telephone 0803 440 4358, 034 206 855. Email adesuperhotels@yahoo.com. Website www.adesuperhotels.com. Ade Super Hotels Limited, hotel with passion for maximum comfort.
Agode. I'm here to talk about the StarTime Solar experience that was recently installed to the present facility I manage. We've had some issues when it comes to powering the facility. We made a contact with the StarTimes company, and on the long run, we're able to get into partnership with them, where they formally installed the current inverter machine. The installation of this very inverter gave us a cut in our cost implications when it comes to the usage in power, both in PHCN and also the diesel purchase to our generator.
On the news tonight, federal government to fully implement Criminal Justice Act 2015. Experts link examination fraud to decline in education standards. Federal government comments milestone in Naira for crude deal. Good evening and welcome to Nta Akure News at 7. I'm Ifeoluwa Moshili. Stakeholders in the education sector have identified poor reading habits, negligence on the part of some parents, as well as lack of computer-based knowledge as some of the factors responsible for the recent massive failure during the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. They stated these while speaking with Abiola Ariyo in Akure.
75% of the 1.9 million candidates who sat for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME) scored below 200. Only 4,756 candidates scored 320 and above, while 12,414 scored 300 and above. This performance trend has sparked concern among stakeholders who described it as alarming and in need of urgent attention. They attributed the poor performance to a range of factors, including a declining reading culture, over-reliance on shortcuts, commonly referred to as miracle centers, and inadequate examination preparation. Other issues raised include limited computer literacy and technical issues experienced by some candidates during the computer-based test.
So we have to trace it to the inability of the student to perform excellently. Many students this nowadays, they don't even know the purpose why they are in school. Many of them, they spend much time on TikTok. They spend much time on WhatsApp. They spend much time on Facebook rather than reading their books. Many of them, they don't read textbooks again. All what they are reading is on media. So they spend much time on the media than committed time to their academics.
Most of the students, they are not doing good, they are not doing well, they are not ready to learn properly. They depend on Orijo, what do they call it now? Where they depend on cheating. So they are not preparing very well for their examination.
And people will be blaming teacher. They're supposed to blame their parents that took them to JAM medical center. All those medical centers that are after money, not after their education. So that is the cause of the failure in the JAM or WAEC student.
In response, stakeholders are calling for improved technological systems, better technical support during examinations, and stronger efforts to instill a consistent reading culture among students to boost performance in future exams.
The parents should please encourage their children to be faithful and to depend on themselves, not to depend on other people or not to depend on where they can cheat.
I want to appeal to parents. Let us make sure we check our children at home. Instead of buying phone for them, Android phone for them, let us buy textbooks.
We the parents to take up our children and let them know the meaning of education. Then the education will be better in Nigeria.
Meanwhile, JAMB has released results of 39,834 candidates being withheld. In Akure, Abiola Rio, NTA News.
The federal government says it is committed to addressing challenges militating against full implementation of the administration of the Criminal Justice Act 2015 and other similar legislations essential for promoting access to criminal justice for all Nigerians. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, stated this at the Citizen Engagement on Access to Criminal Justice in Abuja. Daily Asumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
This citizen midterm assessment of the achievements of the Federal Ministry of Justice under President Tinubu's administration in the criminal justice sector. The forum offers a unique opportunity for an open dialogue, thereby enabling stakeholders to collectively identify gaps, propose solutions, and prioritize actions for the next phase of justice sector reform in Nigeria. It is equally an avenue for the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, to restate the federal government's unwavering commitment towards fostering transparency, inclusivity, and accountability in the administration of justice in Nigeria. During the period under review, the federal government prosecuted 237 terrorism cases, out of which 226 terrorism suspects were successfully prosecuted and convicted. In order to enhance the current legislative framework for protecting vulnerable persons, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act is to be amended. The proposed bill seeks to reform the law, providing better protection for victims, revising imprisonment terms, fines, and introducing a victim support fund for survivors.
The ministry has continued to take measures to ensure that Nigeria develops a child-sensitive justice system that responds to the needs of the children in contact with the law, whether as victim, witness, or offenders. In this regard, therefore, we have continued to pursue the enactment of laws that criminalize child recruitment while ensuring the implementation safeguards for child offenders.
And reaffirm the ministry's resolve to uphold the highest standards of accountability and dedication in the implementation of the presidential priorities.
The establishment of a joint case team on cybercrime is a response to the need for a coordinated and robust approach to combating cybercrimes in Nigeria. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, Nta News.
Guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe strategic focus on enforcement, monitoring and capacity building is required for the robust implementation of Nigeria's first procurement policy. Their key recommendations include adopting e-procurement technology system to enhance transparency and allow real-time tracking of procurement activities, reducing corruption risks, providing cheaper capital and sustainable electricity generation. Lydia Sampson reports.
The Nigeria First policy mandates that all federal procurements prioritize Nigerian-made goods and services, barring imports unless formally waived by the Bureau of Public Procurement. The guests acknowledged that this policy needs the buy-in of state governments, MDAs, public and private sectors, and citizens alike. They suggest independent audits and regular procurement reviews be institutionalized to detect non-compliance and irregularities early and serious enforcement of compliance.
Public procurement can be a very important tool to drive local production. It can be a very important tool to draw investment into the country. It is a very important tool to establish standards of goods, works and products that we receive into the country. And so I think this is a good opportunity.
In the Renew Hope agenda and with the appointment of the several professional guys at the BPP, it cannot be a better time than now. And I believe that governments have to live by their own words. They have to set standards and show example.
Sanctions for violations, the guests insist, must be clearly defined and strictly applied to deter misconduct.
The time for talks is over. All these talks, this should not happen. We have come now to Nigeria First. The talks of before now should be over. Let's now go into action. People who are not doing it right, they shouldn't be allowed to continue doing it wrong.
They seek more capacity building for procurement officers to ensure effectiveness and also insist MDAs should be held accountable. The guests also noted that public participation and civil society engagement can provide additional oversight and pressure for compliance. Collaboration with international procurement bodies and adoption of best practices from successful countries, guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe will help Nigeria tailor effective monitoring mechanism. With deliberate measures, they noted, the Nigeria First policy can stimulate local industries, reduce import dependence, and drive sustainable economic growth. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, Nta News.
Cautions and road signs play vital roles in ensuring safety and orderliness on the road. These aids serve as invaluable tools for drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians, offering crucial details such as speed limits, road conditions, dangers, directions, and rules. In this special report, Abdulkarim Ahmed examines the significance of cautions and road signs on the road and the need for road users to adhere strictly to them.
According to the statistics from the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) in Ondo State, 2,423 people were involved in road accidents in 2024, resulting in 170 deaths and 778 injuries, which majorly might be caused by non-adherence to cautions and road signs, among other causes. The sector commander of the Corps in the state, Samuel Ibitoye, emphasized the importance of following road signs, stressing that ignoring them may have serious consequences such as collisions, injuries, as well as legal consequences.
Road signs are to tell us they enhance the safety, they actually they reduce road traffic crashes on the road, because when you approach a bend and you see a road sign that the bend is towards the right, and you're approaching a bend towards the left, so even in the night you actually see a reflective road sign reflecting, telling you at the beam of your light. You see a story told by road signs telling you what to do and what not to do.
As each sign on the road, such as a stop sign, pedestrian crossing, or warning for a sharp turn, has a specific reason for being there, Motorists are urged to follow them closely as many accidents occur due to impatience, speeding, and careless driving, especially on highways.
It's very important because in those days you have fewer vehicles on the road, but today you have more, and you have especially zebra crossing where you have children in schools. Most times you see children come out of schools and they run into the road because those signs are not there.
The importance of road sign is to prevent accident and to make people know maybe when you are approaching bend that you should slow down, should not drive with speed and enter any bend on the road. That of road sign cannot be overemphasized because it guides the people using roads on how they should use the road.
Motorists are advised to obey the rules and to make use of road signs that are there on the road. And they also advise, please, not to deface road signs.
It is believed that exercising caution while driving not only reduces the risks of accident, but also safeguards lives and promotes a seamless flow of traffic, as adhering to road signals is not just a legal obligation, but also a societal duty that safeguards all individuals on the road. In Akure, Abdulkarim Ahmed, NTA News.
You are still watching Nta Akure News at 7. We shall be back in a moment. Please stay with us.
At NTA Television College Jos, you will dive into exhilarating hands that will fuel your passion in education and propel your career to new heights. We don't just teach, we craft the next generation of media leaders. Explore our diverse offering, understanding the personnel matters and issues in the public service, basic development communication, financial reporting under IPSAS, and interpretation of public sector accounting standard IPSAS, audit, internal check and control management, video camera maintenance, new technologies, optics, fiber, IP technologies, automation, storage management, and wireless technology. Challenges and opportunities in the secretarial profession in the digital age. Digital marketing, basic drama, online reporting, understanding the provisions of the revised public service, audio engineering operations and maintenance, camera operations, and intermediate drama. Mark your calendar. The second quarter of 2025 is your launch pad. This is your moment to seize the future. Announcer Management.
You're welcome back. You can also watch us on our social media handles, Facebook at Nta Akure, YouTube at Nta Akure. Senate has passed the tax reform bills concluding clause-by-clause consideration, which began Wednesday, paving the way for a new tax regime in Nigeria that is streamlined for economic prosperity. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the 4 tax reform bills will be transmitted for assent on President Tinubu after harmonization with the House of Representatives.
Those in support say aye.
Lawmakers in the Red Chamber used 2 days for clause-by-clause scrutiny of the 4 tax bills, which are the Joint Revenue Board Establishments Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishments Bill, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, and the Nigeria Tax Bill. The executive bills are aligned to the Finance Act with rigid VAT sharing formula and additional beneficiaries of development levy to include other key sectors, among others.
What we did in these bills, we have created the Nigerian Revenue Services with an executive vice chairman and a non-executive chairman. And we said the Nigerian Revenue Service will need not less than 6 executive directors.
These 4 bills for Mr. President to sign, which will not only bring peace to Nigeria, will bring more money to Nigeria and development, and then leave the bills as legacies for future generations, where government only for a period, others will come after us. We remain focused. Having passed the tax reforms, we are moving on to work on electoral reforms. And we are moving on as well to work on constitutional reforms. We are very clear as to our mandate and our agenda.
In the meantime, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, at the commencement of plenary, read communications from President Tinubu requesting confirmation of chairman and board members for the Southwest, South, and North Central Regional Development Commissions. Senate also held a valedictory session in honor of the late elder statesman, Chief Edwin Clark.
As a senator of the Federal Republic, he did all he could for his people. He stood for his people. He stood for Nigeria.
We can't replace the voice of Edwin Clark. But what we can learn is that never should any one of us feel so comfortable in a system as to be unable to speak truth, even in power.
Chief Edwin Clark spoke for us more than any other person. He was the voice of the minorities.
By the great soul of Edwin Clark, who gave his all in the service of the Niger Delta people, the minorities of Nigeria, the Nigeria as a nation, rest in perfect peace.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Federal government hails milestone of Naira for crude deal. Details of this are more on Business News with Adedoyin Adefila.
The federal government drive to boost the Naira through local sales of crude oil and refined petroleum products has recorded significant progress according to the technical subcommittee overseeing the policy's implementation. This was reviewed during a high-level follow-up meeting of the technical subcommittee on the crude and refined product sales in Naira initiative held in Abuja. It observed that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited presented a crude delivery report detailing the volume of crude oil allocated for domestic refining under the policy. In another development, the Securities and Exchange Commission has unveiled a technology adoption assessment survey for registered capital market operators as part of efforts to deepen innovation and efficiency in the Nigerian capital market. In a circular issued by the Commission, the SEC stated that the exercise was designed to evaluate the level of adoption of advanced technologies among capital market operations operating within the Nigerian capital market. The exercise will run for 2 weeks, from the 5th of May to the 20th of May 2025. And that's all on Business News. Adedoyin Adefila, NTA News.
Gift George is standing by for updates from the sporting world.
Tax for preparing and coordinating modalities for receiving the Commonwealth Games Kings baton in Nigeria. The initiative comes as part of preparation